first of all, congratulations on your success in the PD exam. You've
Thank you
done
so much.
really good job and hope you are feeling satisfied with this course.
Very much. Yes.
Yeah, you're on cloud nine. Yeah, that's good. All right. We just want to have a small talk in
Sure.
regards to your PT journey. So that just first, I want to ask you, just tell me about your journey. When did you start
Right.
thinking that you want to do your preparations now?
So, to be honest, this sounds quite funny, but I was procrastinating since 1 year now,
Mm-hmm.
and because of my work routine and everything, I couldn't find time to actually prepare it really well. So one point in time I thought now is the time. If I don't do it now, I won't be able to have sufficient time for my file to be put in for my permanent residency. So I took leave from office, and it's just 1.5 weeks time of leave that I had in my hand, and I was pretty much determined that I have to get done with the PT in this particular time span. So I'll be honest, whatever I was practicing since 1 year didn't really help much, but whatever I did in this 1 week's time with you was really meaningful, and it actually helped me get the score.
Okay. And how did you hear about us for the PT mocktest.com?
Right. So I was just surfing Google, and I spoke to other few institutes as well. But then the best part that I liked about ptmocktest.com was, one was they had realistic and reasonable rates. Secondly, when I spoke to Aditya from your team, he advised me that you can have one trial session with our tutor, and then accordingly thereafter decide if you want to commence with the course or not, which was something that really I found was impressive, because nobody else in the market is offering such a courtesy. So I thought that's the best option to go for.
And how did ptmocktest.com help you to achieve your target score?
So the best part that I liked about the ptmocktest.com was that they had subsection tests. They had section wise tests which were scored, and the mock test which were the full length test. Plus the trainer, I would actually advise that you need to blindly trust your trainer, because they are the people who know what your weaker areas are, and they can analyze that and advise you where you're going wrong. So just trust your trainer, trust your instincts, and most importantly is practice. uh, because trainers will provide you guideline, and if you don't practice enough, you will not be in a place to implement them and get better with your practice.
Okay, is the sessions with me, your coach Rubbal, is really helpful to you? And did you find those practice tests also to boost up your score? That they
Yeah,
really helps you
yeah.
to. Yep, sure.
Sorry, yeah. So the sessions with you, what I really found useful was that the slides and the example questions that you allowed me to practice, because that's where you actually saw where I stand. And most importantly, based on that those things, the regular follow up that you did with me on the very next session on the next day about what I did previously was very helpful, because that made me liable to practice more, and because I was answerable, and I wanted to do it myself as well. So that actually helped a lot.
Okay, and how are PT different from the other platform? That's the only last questions.
So other platform, you mean IELTS or anything else like that?
Yes, or any other ones if you have tried anyone earlier.
So I'd given IELTS once in 2019 February, but I was not well prepared for that. But the format for PT and IELTS is completely different. Why I liked PT was the scoring technique is basically very dynamic, and it's all interlinked. So even if you don't do very well in one of the module, it helps you still score, because you do well in the other modules and you try to balance it up. So that's the best thing I like, which is not in the other tests. All the modules stand for themselves. So this is what I liked about the PT exam.
Okay, thank you, Saurabh. It was our immense pleasure to have you on board, and we feel more happy and proud to be part of your success journey.
Sure.
And best of luck for your future endeavors. And very well, thank you,
No problem. Thank you
and
so
have
much,
a good.
Rubbal.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye
You too.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Hello friends, this is Saurabh and he's one of our students who have just completed his coaching from us and the score of 87 bands. Yes, 87 score out of 90. It's a good one, right? Alright. Let me share the screen with you and I'm going to give you the demo about the PTE exam. So let me get you familiarized with all that one. So what is, because most of the students they are not even know about it, what's its even full form. All right, let me show you. And before we start anything, first I need to introduce myself, right? All right, my name is Rubbal and I'm your one of the PT coach at ptmocktest.com and who has been giving tuitions or giving coaching to the nearly 400 students. Yeah, it's been more than 400. So yeah, and I'm giving my expertise from now nearly 4 years. Yes, and also one of the 79 plus scorer candidate with an overall score of 83 with a perfect score in speaking. Alright, so what we are offering at ptmocktest.com is your 30-day online group coaching, which is limited only to 5 students in one group. Yes, I don't want huge crowd in my class, so only 5 students will be there so that I can keep an eye on each and everybody. That is the most important thing, right? Because if teacher doesn't know much about their students, obviously then it won't give you the positive results. So that is why I have only limitation of 5 students in my group. And now let's begin with actual PTE. Let me clarify you what PTE stands for first. PTE is Pearson Test of English and it's of approximately 2.5 to 3 hour exam, depend on the number of the questions, and it is divided into 3 parts. First part is your speaking and writing, and the next one is your reading. After reading you are going to get your 10-minute optional break, and then you have to return back to your seats within 10 minutes, and then last part will be there, which is your listening. After that you guys are happy to go home and enjoy, relax. Alright, let's start with the next one. Your first part is your speaking and writing, which is divided into 3 sections. First section is your personal introduction, which is approximately 1 minute, and in which you have to give your introduction, just a brief one, and few hints will be there for you, so you don't have to worry. And good news, it's not scoreable. It's not scoreable at all, right? And then why it's been there then if it's not scoreable? The reason is it's only for your voice detection, because in PTE there isn't any human involvement, so they use artificial intelligence. That is why they need to record your voice first. They just for your voice detection. Okay, so after that, this introduction is also going to help you to overcome your jitters, the butterflies before the exam, right? Everybody suffers from that. I too. So that's why personal introduction is going to help you out, right? And then once your personal introduction is over for approximately 40 seconds, then is your actual test begin, which is your speaking section. And section 2, speaking is divided into 5 different types of tasks. First task is your read alouds, only 6 to 7 questions, and I will also give you the demo on that, how to do it. So let's get you familiarized with the task types, and then I'll give you the demo. All right. Next is your task type 2 is your repeat sentences, 10 to 12 questions only. Then task number 3 is describe image, retell, lecture will be your task 4. And the last task for speaking is your answer short question, 10 to 12 questions, pretty simple. And overall time for your speaking will be 30 to 35 minutes, depend on the number of questions, ranging from 38 to 41. So yeah, time will be in speaking and writing. Most of the students are easy to manage the time. Only thing we have to manage it in reading and listening. All right, and then last section of part 1 is your writing part, which is your summarized written text. 2 to 3 questions will be there in the exam, and then their second type of task in your writing is your essay. 1 to 2 essays you are going to get it in the exam, and you have 20 minutes to perform each essay, so don't worry about the time. Okay, Writing is pretty easy in PTE. And then next is your part 2, which is your reading section. In reading, there is again 5 different types of tasks, which is your multiple choice, choose single answer, 2 to 3 questions, and then multiple choice, multiple answer, 2 to 3 again here. But there is a big glitch. Glitch is that in multiple choice, multiple answers, there is a negative marking. Yes, that is why we have to be a bit careful that we shouldn't spend so much of time on this kind of question, which is going to cost you a lot in your reading if you wouldn't be able to complete it in time. Because in reading, there is an overall time. So your overall time will be 32 to 41 minutes, depend on the number of the questions from 16 to 19. So in reading, your multiple choice single answers, reorder paragraphs, and the filling the blanks will be there for you to get you a better score. Okay, so this is pretty much easy for the reading. Only thing we need to learn is the time management, because without time management, obviously your score is going to suffer, which we, of course, we don't want it, right? All right. So once your reading is over, so relax yourself, go out, and not out of the examination halls, certainly. Then what you have to do is just go for a stroll and make sure your biometrics will be done at this point of time once you leave the hall, and then you have to return back within 10 minutes. But then what happens if you don't return to your seats not in the time? Yes, they will start deducting your time from the listening part. So make sure come back on time. All right. So in listening, last module, that is your for the PT exam, and it is divided into 2 sections. Section 1 is your summarized spoken text, which is only 2 to 3 questions. So this is pretty simple because they are similar to your retail lecture. Only difference is in retail lecture you have to speak it, but in listening you have to write it down in the respective box provided. And don't worry, I'm also going to show you how to make the notes so that you don't get confused into your chaotic notes. We don't want that one, right? Yeah, okay. So after your summarized spoken text is over, and then your section 2, in which you're having 7 tasks. So first task will be multiple choice, multiple answer. So again, negative marking similar to your read alouds. Your reading section, 2 to 3 questions will be there. Filling the blanks. Filling the blanks in PD is pretty easy. It's really, they don't use any synonyms, they don't use any paraphrasing. Yes, and then what they do, they speak audio and transcript word by word. Yes, answer will be in your ears. You are going to listen your whole answer into your ears, right? So that is why only we have to worry about is the spelling errors. Then next task type is your highlight correct summary. 4 options will be there, you have to choose the one, and then multiple choice single answer, missing words, highlight incorrect words. Yes, this is another task, and last task in the PTE, which carries the negative marking. So total 3, and the last part of your listening is your write from dictation, 3 to 4 questions. So overall time for the listening will be 45 to 51 minutes. So don't worry about the listening timing. But only thing we have to worry about is the time management, which I'm sure you guys are going to overcome with my strategies and my practice with me on regular basis, right? So what all will be happening in the next 30 days? There will be live classes. Yes, live classes 3 days a week, 1 hour session, and I will be conducting those lessons and those sessions, and I'm going to discuss each and every task type in detail. Yes, every day we are going to do 1 or couple of tasks, and I'm going to deliver you some specific strategies. And then what's the point of giving the strategies if we are not going to do any practice, right? So we need to do those practice. Yes, and then there will be an alternate self-practice session in which I will going to assign you near about or more than 100 tests for practice, and you have to attempt it and submit to me for evaluation. So this is an example of your 30-day schedule for your online group PTE coaching. Let me explain it to you for a couple of days so that you get familiarized with it, what you are going to get it. Right, on day 1 there will be live class on read alouds, which is your first task of speaking, right? And in that live session I'm going to give you the strategies, the tips, the do's and don'ts, And then focusing on those strategies, we are going to do the practice. And once that thing is over, like when you are familiarized it, when you are confident enough, then the very next day you have to attempt your self practice subsection wise tests. Those tests I'm going to explain it to you as well. So then the third day there will be another live class on repeat sentence and describe images. Same way the next day you have to do the self practice. So once all your speaking tests task types will be over, then you can again give the full speaking test. Yes, because I don't want you to complete the whole 20 tasks and then later on, but in the end days you have to hush and hush for your test. Right, we don't want to rush that, right? So that is why keep an eye on you after every section type is over. So by checking on your speaking test, speaking section wise test myself, right? And then same way with the writing, reading and the listening. So once all your task type will be over, then you are going to attempt the full scored mock test. That will be not checked by me. That is totally automated one, and that is done by computer, similar to one you are going to give it in the exam. Yes, and you are going to get your score report card within 24 hours. So very next day you will get your score report card. And then last day will be the live discussion and practice sessions. If you are having any doubts or anything you want to ask, shoot your question and I'll be more than happy to give all your answers. Now I'm going to explain you what type of test we are offering. First is your scored mock test, which is similar to your full length test, and you are going to get your scored report card within 24 hours. So that means the very next day, and similar to your exam pattern. So if you are able to score your desired target score in those tests without blinking any eye, book your test the next day. Yes, and then you can give your test exam, real exam. The other thing I'm going to give it to you is your section wise test, which I have explained to you. Once we are over with the task types, for example your speaking test, then after 5 days or 6 days, whatever according to your schedule, then you can give the full speaking test. In that way I come to know about your position on the speaking, right? And then I can pinpoint your mistakes as well and help you to how to improve it. So I'm constantly be working on you. I have to keep an eye on it, right? So that is why the section wise test will be checked by your evaluator. And then last thing is subsection wise test and prediction test. These are plenty one for you. And this type test is your individual task type test, which you have to give it whatever the task type we are going to complete in a live session, and under similar time conditions you are going to do it, such as read aloud task type, which you have to practice after every session. So these tests contains questions which is frequently asked in the Pearson exam. So yeah, this is another additional benefit for you. And what else you will be getting? As I've told you, more than 100 plus, 120 plus practice tests worth 60 Australian American dollars free of cost, in which you are going to get 7 scored mock tests with automated scorecard, 32 section wise tests with feedback from your personal coach, and then 40 task type tests with expert answers. And then last one is prediction test, which I have told you the latest question asked in the Pearson exam. Let me show you this one, that on the site those tests which I'm giving it to you for $60 here. So you are getting so many questions, so many of the tasks, right? So this is what we are offering on our website. So but with the but what you are going to get it when you are going to opt for the training package, they all are free of cost for you. Yes. And then what else you will be getting? Recording. Yes, recording of your live session, and that's also free of cost. And because what happens is sometimes we are not able to write each and everything in the class, so certainly you would like to go through your lectures again, right? So that is why I'm going to provide you the free recording, so that in your own space, whenever if you're traveling or if you are just going outside anywhere, you can have go through those sessions anytime, anywhere, right? What else I'm giving you? Personal feedback for each section wise test, and I'm going to pinpoint your mistakes and the ways to improve it. So now let me give you a demo for one item. Let's practice. show you how we are going to work it in the class. This is your first task, read aloud. So that's how the screen going to look like in your exam. There will be time remaining and the number of the questions, okay? And then you have to read the instructions, which is really important in your read aloud specifically, because preparation time always varies. So for every questions you are going to get a preparation time, and in these ones as well, preparation time for approximately 25 to 35 seconds, and then there will be a beep tone, and then you have to record your answer. But don't think that this preparation time is only little time. No, don't worry, you still have to utilize it. You still have to go through the whole text. Why? Because there is a reason. Sometimes there are some of the words which you are unfamiliarized, right? So what we can do is we can break that word, and if we are not even good in those breaking, then there is another trick which I'm going to share it with you. That's my secret. Use your letter sound knowledge. Yes, because everybody knows how to pronounce your alphabets, right? So apply your letter sound knowledge so that you can pronounce those unfamiliar words. And another thing you have to keep it in mind, you have to read each and every single word. We don't have to skip, or we don't have to rush through. There is a plenty of time. So there is another video which is sentence stress. I'm going to play it for you, which is another important aspect.
Meaning that it doesn't really matter how many words are in a sentence. What really matters is how many stressed words are in a sentence. We used this example. Boys eat treats. The boys eat treats. The boys eat the treats. The boys will eat the treats. The boys will have eaten the treats. It took me the same amount of time to say the first sentence as it did for me to say the last sentence.
Okay, so stressing of the sentence is also important, and this is only one aspect. There are other do's and don'ts which I'm going to explain it into the live session. So this is the main thing you have to keep it in mind while doing some live practice. Okay, let me take you to our portal where we have to add our credentials. Then once we log in, then we have to go to the mock test for subsection wise test. Then in subsection wise test, for example, we are doing read aloud, right? So let's do practice of the read aloud. We have to start it, then we have to record it. Yes, this is your microphone check. Hello, I'm going to succeed in the PTE exam. Stop, playback. Next button, go to next, and yes, now this is same screen going to look like in your exam. Number of question, time remaining will be there for you, and then you have to read the instructions carefully. You must read the text loud and naturally and clearly as possible, right? And then there is the preparation time. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through each and every word. The Office of Personnel Management was the target of the attack, but data from nearly every government agency was stolen. US investigators said they believe Chinese hackers were behind the breach. Okay, so I'm good to go now. I have gone through each and every word. So after beep tone, I'm going to start my recording. Alright. The Office of Personnel Management was the target of the attack, but data from nearly every government agency was stolen. US investigators say they believe Chinese hackers were behind the breach. That's how I'm going to do my recording. Once I'm done, I don't have to wait till 40 seconds. I can press the next button. My recording is uploading now, and then we can go to the next question. Right? So yeah, that's how we are going to do our full test. So now let's get back to our presentations. So what we will be discussing more strategies and templates once we are going to be enrolled in the class. So now if you are one of the students who is looking to clear the PTE Coach exam, so this course is definitely for you, and book your slots straight away. That's the main thing, because time is limited, so as the slots. Yeah, so I hope I have given you the brief and precise and clear introduction about the PTE, and you get now you are familiarized with its patterns and different types of the questions and how we are going to do it in the class as well. So I'm sure this video will be helpful for you.